Alright, so today's November 30th, 2021. Um, so I decided to do this recap just pretty much at the end of the market open. I finished trading around here actually, so around about 11, 12. Yeah, about 11 o'clock. Today was a good day in terms of P&L, but there were some issues. Yeah, there were lots of problems. Well, not lots of problems. There were some problems. I tilted. Everything was going okay. I found that because of how big these ranges are, I'm having to um, I'm having to scalp as opposed to trade for a swing trade. Um, yeah, so gonna go through pretty much. I traded everything: ES, NQ, MNQ, and MES. I started off, I believe, with the MNQ. Yeah, and everything was okay until I tilted and did not, just kind of did some really, really stupid things. Actually, let's do this. Why don't I? Okay, let's see. Let's see. I want to show you how I saw things at the open. So this was the open here. Well, no, here we go. This was the open here. So prior to the open, we had this massive sell-off in the overnight session, and then just having this sort of we had this what's it called? This channel, which I charted. Essentially, what I did was I took these two lows, uh, extended to the highs, and then at the open, price was round about here. Excuse me. I actually was in a trade here. I went long here, and then it pulled back, could not get out, and then I know what happened. I was trying to add to my position because I believe that we're in a spike pullback and channel. So I wanted to add to my position around about here because I thought we would test these highs again, since we're now in a trading range. And instead of pressing buy, I clicked sell. So I exited my position for a tiny loss, and then entered again, and then got out at the top just because the price had already gone a bit higher, and I just took a little bit of my profits. At that point, I was about, let's say, a third of the way to my daily goal. Um, if I had held on to it, possibly held on to maybe here or even here, I'd have probably hit my goal for the day and probably not even near to trade. Anyway, so what ended up happening was price. Let's actually go into the yeah. So first bar was a bit red, went back up. And as we're going up, I just entered, and then exited because I believe that we're in a trading range. Actually, I don't know if I entered on the first bar. I don't know what this is. I don't think this is the first bar. Let me just check because I don't remember trading the first bar. Right, here we go. Yeah, I think this is pre-market. I don't think this is. I don't remember entering on the first bar. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't remember entering on the first bar. And now I look at it now, I'm seeing this and I'm like, wow, I probably should have just entered here. Like, just put my entry over here and then scalped it, gotten out over there on the 1 minute. But I wasn't looking at that. That was not really the plan at the time. I was only trading the 5 minute, and I must admit, whenever this is happening, it's really interesting because you're seeing wicks at the bottom and wicks at the top. That is telling you that you're in a trading range and traders are just buying these lows, selling these highs. If anything, you should do the same. So you just put your order over here to buy, put your stop just below there, and put your order to sell. Or you can use a wide stop if you want. And I kind of did that here. I wanted to buy this low when this came out, but I spent a lot of time in this area than over here at the time. And then when it got here, I exited. Then I bought another one here, spent a bit of time here. Then I had an order to buy just above this high. and then in order to sell what I had bought over here. I don't understand why I did that, but I did. And when it bought it, because when I hit the order, the way the orders are set up, it puts a stop 4 points below and a limit 4 points above. So it knocked me out on this bar, and I was pretty annoyed. Well, it knocked me out on this bar, so I was pretty annoyed that it had taken. I had lost money on this, which was clearly in a going up. And I think I bought here again as we were going even higher. The bars just kept on going up and down, up and down. We didn't spend a lot of times on the highs. So essentially, what that is telling me is that, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, sometimes you get a bar that just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And essentially, what that is, on a lower time frame, you're getting this price action. But when it's going up and down violently, especially when these ranges are very wide, then it means that you're breaking out and coming back down, breaking, like the bids are really high, maybe the spreads are high, and as a result, traders are scalping as they're going even higher. Anyway, we kept on doing that, and we started getting higher, and then I bought this high. I wasn't even thinking, I just bought this high, and then it started coming down, and I bought some more because I believe this was a pullback. But then at the same time, I was not very confident in the fact that this was yesterday's high, but I had a little bias, small back gap down, we're going higher. But as I look at it now, I realize that this is actually a buy climax, and therefore having a double top was what I should have expected. And of course, when you have a gap down, a double top like this usually leads to a sell-off. Anyway, and this is what led to the tilt. So essentially what happened was, when we got here, I was adding, and then I noticed that at this point I was up in my P&L, and this is the issue. I was up already in my P&L about maybe 1.6 times my goal. So I was way over my goal. I'd already hit my goal, and I took this trade, and it wiped pretty much everything I had made because I had added to way too many contracts. I mean, there were a number of contracts I would add, but for my stop over here, it just made no sense. And because of that, I got annoyed. I then now went to trade the NQ. And the NQ is 10 times the value of the, here we go. The NQ is 10 times the value of the MNQ. And I think I had 5 contracts in here or so, and I bought this bar, went down, and then I think I even added more here, and then I now was down about 10 times my goal. Yeah. So if my goal, say, was, I'm just going to pick an arbitrary figure, $3,000, I was $30,000 down. Not okay. Obviously, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I wouldn't trade $30,000, but that's essentially what had happened. And then I started trading shit, rubbish, adding, buying, adding. I saw this sort of as a pullback, and I thought, okay, maybe we'll make pullback and make some money on the way up. And I started buying, and I just was trading with panic. And then at one point I stopped. Then I saw this big bar come up. I bought this bar. Then it came up. Then it went back down because I realized that there were buyers here, and I probably should have just put an order here to buy. And even if it didn't go, I would have put my stop, but it went up as I expected, and it came back down, scalped a bit, made some money, lost some money, made some money, then sold here. And at this point, I think, I can't remember whether I was already breaking. Oh yeah, here we are. Here, this bar started to form, and I said, okay, I'm going to short this bar. Probability is great that we're going down, but you see, I was not, because we'd broken this range, I felt, okay, maybe we may come here, but I saw this wedge bottom, so I thought maybe this might not work. But looking at the price action now, 1 pullback, 2, this is, 2 pullback, 3. So yeah, this looks like this is not a pullback actually, this is still a pause. But looking at it now, it's, this is a lower high, major trend reversal. I should have just been in short, but I wasn't thinking about it. I was looking at the ES as well. The ES looked like it was in a range and it looked like it was reversing. So at this point I wasn't really sure what I was doing, and then I just saw, like I said, I saw this bar break this low, then I shorted it, and then took a bit of profits, took some profits and waited, and then put my stop here for my final bit. And at this point I think I was back in the money. And then I was asking myself, what am I doing? Why am I tilting? Okay, so what else happened? Yeah, and then I also did the same with the ES. Bought here, sold here, and I realized it was not making sense. I shorted this, came down here, and then got out over here, only just because I realized that maybe this is a wedge, maybe we're going even higher, and we did go higher, and could have been on a lower time frame. Maybe the issue is maybe the 5 minute is not conducive for the ranges that I'm trading, and it's best I do, I mean, look here, you have an obvious wedge top, 3 pushes, 1, 2, 3. And then rejecting the moving average. When you're not seeing things properly and you're seeing too many things and your mind is not thinking that maybe we might have a lower high and you were expecting a bull trend, this could happen. Although I was thinking I think what had happened was I was expecting the trend to come down, and this was just me saying, okay, we're going up. But we did this and double topped. So especially this bar would have been a good bar to sell. Or possibly this bar with a stop up here would have been a really good trade. As you can see, this is the ES. We don't normally get these sort of small ranges, like big ranges on the ES. We gap down quite a lot of points today. I think about almost 100 points today. All right, so this was a breakout or breakdown. So I had confidence when we had that breakdown. When I went back to trade the MNQ, but let's talk about the MES first. Yeah, I was buying the ES as well as we're going even higher, and then just got out over here because I just thought, okay, the moving average, I think that's why I got out over here, because we got to the moving average after I bought here, then got out there. When we got out here, I saw we started to wick at the bottom, started going higher. We pulled back. I think, yeah, I initially shorted this. Yeah, there we go. I initially shorted this. And then covered. But I remember saying to myself, well, this is a spike, this is a dominant feature on the chart. We should have a second leg down, for follow through. So if this is the spike, pullback and channel, we have 3 pushes down, 1, 2, and 3. Actually, the third one is still here. But anyway, I was, at this point, like I said, I'd already made my money. I was actually really, really good. I had made quite a lot of money on the MNQ. So I just decided to just cover and just take this, wasn't really interested in seeing this down. I paper traded this on my sim account. And actually did a good trade on that when it hit here, and then just got out there. And then seen that, as you can see, this is the pullback, and then 3 pushes down, 1, 2, and 3. But anyway, so that trade over there was a bit too much, wasn't good. This was okay, but could have been better. But I'd already stopped, and I didn't like the fact that I was a bit frazzled. Then I went, prior to that, I was on the MNQ. And as you can see, I started to show, okay, so when I'd already made the money, I decided to sell this big bar, sell off, sold here, sold some more. And because I'm trading the MNQ, I had a bit more confidence, even if I put my stop up here, or even here. I was confident that we were going even lower. Only just because, again, looking, and I'm going to show the chart, looking at the bigger chart where we were headed. There was also a reason why I was going long here, and I expected price to go a bit higher based on the same chart, but did not happen. Anyway, so went long, went short, covered some again. I think that was when that ended. Did I go short here? Oh yeah, I did that thing again where the thing wasn't set up properly and it just kept on stopping me out. Then I now took another short here, got out over here. I noticed that we had created another bar, wicked, and then just, okay, let me just get out, and then got out over there. Then this pullback, and this is where I probably should have gone short. If I look at the entire setup itself, This is the ES and everything that had happened today based on the 5 minute chart. If one loves to trade wedges, this would have been beautiful. I mean, you had a nice double bottom here, good go long here, which is essentially why I went long. And then you had a nice wedge bottom. I was struggling to find the support on this, I must admit. I couldn't find anywhere where this would stop. I looked on the Thinkorswim chart just to get a sense of where the supports were. I didn't really find anything, but I then now plotted a measured move and I realized that, okay, this is probably where we're going. Initially, my measured move base was here. And I thought, okay, if this is here, maybe it would be here, but then we broke that. But the point is, once we had this breakout, we were certainly going for some measured move of sorts, and we ended up using this base for this. I mean, we've probably even gone lower, because I realized that we probably still have another base here. The same thing here as well. This was the base of this range. As you can see, we've actually stayed within this range. And this would have been a good play long and short, sort of taking it long from here and then taking it short from here. Just basically playing the trading range. So basically what happened was we had one trading range, broke down, went to another trading range, and we could have just traded this trading range. I was watching this pretty much the entire afternoon. I thought, well, I could take a trade, but I was exhausted at this point. I remember looking at it over here, I was like, I should go long. But I was like, we want this to close above the moving average, because for all we know, we may just go down and break the bottom of the range. I wasn't really ready for that. But then obviously, as you see that, you see we've gone up again and then we've come back down, and look at this massive bull breakout. Today, as I said, I made really good money, but it was as a result of a tilt. I'm not happy that I did tilt. I'm going to in future just take my time. I think what had happened was the fact that I kept on adding on while we were going down. That was a bad trade. What I need to now do is do a bit of study on relying, even if I'm not going to rely on my stop, i.e. get out early, only add on a pullback on a good setup. The issue with that is I tend to enter with very small size, and like the trade to work in my favor. But maybe what I need to do now is enter with a bit more, because I can't afford the risk. I just like to have higher probability as we're going higher, and I just haven't sort of found a very good way to do so. The best way to do it, I think, is to maybe trade a smaller time frame for entries. Enter there and use a stop. Maybe, for instance, here, going on a 2-minute chart. I was watching the 2-minute most of today for a lot of the plays, but I wasn't trading it. So, yeah, here could have been a good short using a 2-minute chart. If your stop is around here, that is 42 points. 1 contract, 2 contract. Yeah, so that would have been a really good trade. Taking that short, 1 pullback, 2, you've gone 200 and something points. That would have been beautiful. All right. So that was my trading day. Tomorrow, we're going to try to improve on what we've done today. Things that I think were good was reading of the chart was good, a lot better than other days. Although, it's easy for one to see two things happening. I think there was another thing I was going to share, which was, what I thought was happening on the higher time frame. So on the 4-hour, is essentially what I thought was happening. I thought we were in a bull trend, we pulled back, then we broke down, went up, down, went up. But then I now realize that what we've been in is not even what I thought. It's actually a trading range. So we've gone up, pulled back here, and we've been going sideways. So it's no surprise that we've come to the bottom, we've come to the top and rejected this top, and then we've come to this bottom, pulled back. God knows if we're coming back here, but the point is, for the NQ, that's what's actually happening. On the ES, things are a bit different. We're actually in a bear trend, and there was a bear channel that I thought I charted a bear channel. Oh, hang on, just no, I didn't chart a bear channel, but I see a bear channel. I thought I did chart a bear channel. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on, but I thought we were in a bear channel. Yeah, I did. Trend analysis. There we go. Trend analysis. Yeah, we're in a bear channel. So you can see, hit the top of the channel, pull back to the bottom, hit the top again, pull back here, and hit this again. I thought this was a double top for us to go higher, but then the price action doesn't look like one. And then we've pulled back down, pull back one more time. We may just pull back one more time down. Bears may have reached their target for the month. They want to put a bear bar closing on its low. So if we take off extended hours, we have a bear bar for them. Oh, actually, no, this is a daily chart. Let's go to the monthly charts. Yeah, we have a bear bar closing on its low. So maybe December might be a bear bar, possibly. I'm not sure. Anyway, so for the month I'm up, and I'm up good for the month, which is great. But yeah, today could have been a lot better, especially if I had just not tilted here, not rushed into this, maybe waited for a credible setup, and then just taken the trade accordingly and just being patient. Catching this wedge would have been a really high probability trade, going high above this. Yeah, and then maybe scaling in here. I think this is the point. One needs to really relax and not try to trade every bar, because I don't think I've reached that level of expertise. But I can see the opportunities. Oh, another thing again. I noticed again when we came here, we projected this MA and then come down. So that was already a sign that we were in a bear trend, at least on the 1 hour chart. As far as the NQ is concerned, things are slightly different. We've been crossing this, and this is what gave me the clue that we were in a trading range, because you can see the MA is here and then double topped, and then we've come down. So this is just trading range price action. Pull back, maybe go down, go up. Yeah, that is useful. Probably the most useful trick and tool at the moment. The MA. And then whenever we have these breakouts, probably going through an MA or something. But anyway, yeah, so that's my trading. I hope that helps and makes sense. Tomorrow we'll see what's up.